Alright, Title 38, Water Navigation, Chapter 3, Protection and Improvement of Water, Subchapter 2A, Oil Discharge Prevention Pollution Control, Part 2, 552, Liability. License shall be liable. The license shall be liable for all acts of the Commission and omission of the service and agency for the carrier designated with the licensed facility for the time and such carrier that shall enter with such state waters until such time the carrier shall use state waters. To state need not to plead or provide negligence to the intent with the subject provide the meaning with a rapid effectively on minimize the direct and indirect damage proliferation of third party claims of according to any of the person, vessel, license, agent, servant, including carrier designated with a leaving the licensed facility while state waters who permits and suffers of the prohibited discharge of the other polluting conditions of it to take place and liable to the state with it for all the disbursement made in pursuant with 551 subsection 5 paragraphs B, D, E, H, and I of the damage incurred by the state, including the damage to the injury with the destruction of the loss of use of the natural resource, reasonable cost of assisting natural resource damage of the cost preparing implementing natural resource of the restoration plan, any suit with the enforced claims of the state under this section established liability not necessarily with the state with a plea with the provide negligence in any form of the manner of the part of the person causing suffering the discharge license per responsible for the discharge state needs only to plead and prove of the fact prohibited discharge of the pollution condition of the discharge occurred at the facility under the control of the license was attributed to the carrier of the other than from whom the license is reasonably provided with the subchapter occurred with involved in a real property structure of the equipment, the conveyance of the unit of the custody of the control of the person causing suffering of the discharge. 2. Recovery, right of recovery of the licensee. Any license that is held liable to the act of the mission with a carrier with a design and for the licensed facility pursuant to subsection 1 may recover for the civil action from the carrier with any of the person responsible for the act of admissions of the carrier with the loss of the expense for the damage of the liability incurred by the license of the act with admission of its carrier. 4. Liability for responders not within its standing under the provision of law of liability of responders to discharge substantially threat of the discharge oil into the pond of the coastal waters and estuaries, tidal flats, tidal waters, beaches, lands adjoining the seacoast of the state is governed by this section and respondent is not liable for the removal of the cover of the damage civil liability penalty for the result from action taken amended with the course of the rendering care of the assistant of the value consistent with the national contingency plan, federal contingency plan, state marine oil spill contingency plan, otherwise directed with the federal on-scene coordinated with the commissioner. B, the paragraph A does not apply with the person injury of the wrongful death of the person that grossly negligent engages in willful misconduct, or 3, the responsible to a responsible party. C, for the responsible party for liable to remove the cause of the damage of the liability penalties for the responder relieved under paragraph A. Or 552A, detention vessels. Whenever the probable culpability of the vessels violated, meaning with the violation of subchapter any of the other law with the Department of Environmental Protection responsible for the administering of the rule or with the board commission or any official of the department made thereunder. Vessel must be detained any of the port state until the payment of the fine penalty accessible within the law has passed within secured with the satisfaction of the attorney general, any judge, or judge, Supreme Court of the district court may issue the orders are necessary to carry out the purpose of this section. 552B for financial responsibility facility closure. Financial liability with the facility closure costs of the owner and operator of the oil terminal facility should provide with the Department of Ed for the owner of the operator financial ability to satisfy with the limited liability imposed on pursuant with section 552, satisfied with the estimated probable facility closure costs compliant with the subchapter rules adopted by the Department of the owner and operator facility should provide with the Department of Evidence for the owner and operator with the financial ability to satisfy with the liability imposed pursuant with 552 in an amount no less than $2 million. To be eligible, the license required with the subchapter for the owner and operator of the facility shall file with the Department of the estimate with the probable facility closure cost of the preliminary facility closure of the plan shall provide evidence for the owner and operator financial ability to satisfy with those estimated costs. C, subject of the approval of the Department of the owner and operator of the facility may establish the owner and operator's financial ability to satisfy with the probable facility closure cost estimate in paragraph B by one of the combination following with the insurance of the risk of the detention group with coverage guarantee, surety bond letter of credit to trust fund with indeterminate adequacy evidence of such financial ability of the department shall consider the criteria of Title 40 Code for Regulations, Section 280, 96, 99, 102, and 103. Failure to the owner and operator of the facility meet the requirements of subsection department and may result with but not limited to non-renewal, revocation, and ownership of the operator license according to subsection 3. 2. Facility with the requirement that owner and operator should close the oil terminal facility compliance with the written facility closure plan with it meets standard with the safe closure facility site. Remediation owner and operator with the written facility closure plan with the department at 60 days of the decision closed to the oil terminal facility with not carry out the facility closure activities until the department has approved the facility closure plan. B. The department shall review the facility closure plan with determine complying with the applicable rules consistent with the processing time that should schedule adopted with the department. The department is approved. The must include with the time and the completion of the owner and operative facility closure plan with included date for the performance specific the closure task. C. The owner and operator complying with the facility closure according to the approved the facility closure plan with satisfaction with the department. The department may conduct inspection included and not limited to soil, groundwater, other testing and as part of the determined complying with approved facility closure plan. D. Following completion of the facility closure, the owner and operator shall file with a written closure completion report with the department must may include with the certification independent licensed professional engineer with the facility closure for the conduct with accordance with approved facility closure plan and regulated substance as removed and remediated with the satisfaction of the department. E. The department shall oppose the facility closure plan. The department approve of the inspection, testing, result of the completion report, including with an independent licensed professional engineer certification on the department's public accessible website for 5 years following the completion of the facility closure. Enforcement owner and operator fails to comply with the requirements of the section subject for the enforcement action of the department include but are not limited to revocation of the license of the owner and operator required by subsection 544 and 545. 553. Interstate Compact Authority. In accordance with the subchapter 2 of the Governor of the State, it is authorized directive of the execute with a supplemental agreement with one or more of the state with the compromise of the New England Interstate Water Pollution Control Commission of the United States for purpose of the implementing or the carrying out of the provision, limitation, qualifications, and intent of this subchapter. 554. Reports of legislative repealed. 555. Budgets approval. The Commissioner of the shall submit the budget recommendation documents to find in accordance with Section 551, subsection 5, paragraphs A, C, F, and H of each biennial budget must be submitted with as part of the unified current services budget legislation according to Title 5, Section 1663, 1666. State Commissioner control shall expenditure therefrom and above approved by the Commissioner expenditures pursuant to Section 551, subsection 5, paragraphs B and E may be authorized by the state controller following with approval of the Commissioner. 556. Municipal ordinance power limited to nothing in the subject may distributed denied with any municipality by an accordance or by law of the exercising police power under any general or special act provided by the accordance by law with the furtherance intent of this subchapter with the general welfare, public health, public safety as valve unless with the direct control of the subchapter any rule or order of the board commissioner adopted under authority of the subchapter. 557. The construction subchapter being necessary for the general welfare, public health, the public safety, of the inhabitants shall be limited, liable, liberally construed to effect for the purpose set forth in the subchapter, and a rule order board commissioner may state pending an appeal of the provision of subchapter. Alright, vessels at anchor. Purpose of the legislative intent with the enactment of the section excessive of the police power of the state with the department and conferring with the department with the exclusive power of the deal with the hazards of threat and danger of the damage posed by anchoring oil carrying vessels in the water of the state with the purpose of the rules adopted of the board and to protect coastal water, tidal flats, beaches, lands, adjoining waters, and state forms of damage and intentional accidental discharge of oil, other pollutants is defined in 361A. Air contaminants defined in section 582. The explosion for the accumulation gas aboard vessels prohibited interference hazarding main resource athletic recreational use of coastal waters. 2 definitions. Even in the section, anchorage means the warning period of the indefinite duration vessel designed to use carry oil while not waiting for the scheduled loading of the unloading cargo of the main waters, but not including the mooring of the vessel with the bunkering, maintenance, repair, overhaul, and the connections with part of the siege trials. 3. Boards adopt rule. The board shall adopt rules limiting the extent of the board determining the measure of the prohibited anchorage of the main coastal waters within strew of the rivers under jurisdiction of the state with the vessels designed to carry out cargo. All rules adopted by the board under the section down apply with the vessel anchorage of July 1st, 1975. Scope of the rules. Adopting of the rules in addition provision subject of the board consider the must include but not limited to location, duration of the type of the anchorage, the type of the capacity of the vessel permitted to the anchorage, system precautions necessary for the safety of each vessel, the training number available to crew members on board each vessel with the requirement and contingency for the accident, firestorm, and other unforeseen acts, protection of the natural environment, aesthetic, recreational, state waters, and protection of fisheries and fishing industry with the state exemptions. Board may rule exempt with certain activities inconsistent with the purpose of the section. Unpowered vessels less than 500 barrels total oil storage capacity is acceptable for the provision section provided with vessels subject to the applicable rules. Administered by the United States Coast Guard. Owner notified the commissioner of the location content of the vessels within 7 days of the anchorage. 6. Prohibition. No person to have the vessel with at anchorage of the Maine waters for more than 7 days without current license with the department. 7. License or fees. The license required for the anchorage vessel with the Maine waters at a fee of the 1.5% dead weight a ton is due within 30 days of the anchorage of part thereof. The department may license the properly treated effluents emissions regulated with each section consistent with the other environmental law states. A application for a license. A person designing with the half of the vessel anchored to Maine water shall apply for the right of the commissioner of the shall publish for the public notice of the applicant with a brief summary with a pump paper general circulation of the same with the proposed activities provided information required by the rule of the board. After receipt, application of the department shall issue the license. If denied the license, given the reason for their order or hearing thereof, the person denied license without hearing may request the writing within 30 days of the denial. Hearing before the department, the request may be set forward the detailed findings to which if the person objects for the basic such objection nature of the relief requested. 9. Penalty. 10. Board to solicit evidence advice. Board to solicit advice of the Board of Environmental Protection, solicit the advice of the Commissioner of Marine Resources Commander of the United States Coast Guard prior to adopting any rules under this section. 561. Finding and purpose. We've read this already, and so that completes subchapter 2A, oil discharge pollution control. And then we also read subchapter 2B, oil storage ground protection. Part 2C, prohibition, natural gas exploration development.